Have you ever walked into a room and felt someone quietly change the moment they noticed you? They may smile a little longer, lose their train of thought, or suddenly seem unsure of themselves. Psychology suggests that when emotions run deep, people often reveal them through small, unconscious behaviors before they ever find the courage to speak. That's why the signs we're about to explore aren't about dramatic love stories. They're about the subtle moments that can reveal just how deeply your presence affects someone. As you watch, think of that one person who always seems a little different whenever you're near. Sign 1. Their whole attention shifts the moment you arrive. Have you ever noticed someone who seems completely focused on something else until you walk into the room? Suddenly their eyes find you without thinking. Their smile becomes a little brighter, their posture changes, or they quietly stop what they're doing for just a second. It's almost as if your presence pulls their attention naturally. From a psychological perspective, this happens because our brains instinctively notice the people who matter most to us emotionally. We don't have to force it. When someone has strong feelings for you, your arrival becomes the most interesting moment in their environment. Even if they try to hide it, their attention often gives them away before their words ever do. Of course, one glance doesn't always mean someone is in love. But when you repeatedly notice their focus shifting toward you, no matter where they are or who they're with, it may be a quiet sign that being near you affects them far more deeply than they're willing to admit. Sign 2. They become nervous without meaning to. When someone is melting inside because of you, confidence can disappear in an instant. A person who is normally calm may suddenly stumble over simple words, laugh at the wrong moment, or forget what they were about to say. Others become unusually quiet, as if they're carefully choosing every sentence before it leaves their lips. This happens because strong emotions create a quiet pressure. When someone truly cares about how you see them, they become more aware of every little action. They don't want to say the wrong thing or leave the wrong impression, and that extra self-awareness can make even the simplest conversation feel unexpectedly difficult. What's beautiful is that this nervousness isn't about weakness. It's often about emotional investment. The more someone values your opinion, the harder it becomes to act completely natural. And if you notice this happening consistently whenever you're around, it could be a gentle sign that your presence means much more to them than they're ready to confess. Sign 3. They remember the little things you forgot. One of the quietest signs of deep affection is a memory that seems almost effortless. Weeks later, they bring up a small detail you mentioned only once, your favorite snack, a song you couldn't stop playing, or a dream you casually shared. You may have forgotten saying it, but somehow they didn't. Psychologically, we naturally pay closer attention to people who carry emotional meaning in our lives. The brain tends to hold on to information connected with strong feelings because those moments feel more important. That's why the smallest details about you can stay in their mind long after everyone else has moved on. Of course, a good memory alone doesn't prove romantic feelings. But when someone consistently remembers the little things that make you you, it often shows that they aren't just listening to your words. They're quietly treasuring every chance to know you a little better. Sign 4. Their eyes reveal what their words hide. There are moments when someone looks at you with a warmth they can't quite explain. They hold your gaze for a second longer than expected, then quickly look away, as if they've shared too much without saying a single word. A few moments later, you catch them looking again. Psychologists often describe eye contact as one of the clearest nonverbal ways people express interest and emotional connection. When someone feels deeply drawn to you, their eyes naturally search for you. Yet that same attraction can make them feel vulnerable, causing them to break eye contact the moment it becomes too intense. The key isn't one lingering glance. It's the pattern. If their eyes repeatedly find you, soften when you meet them, and then shy away as if they're protecting a secret, it may be because their feelings are becoming harder to hide each time you're near. Sign 5. They find reasons to stay close. When someone is deeply affected by your presence, they rarely need a big excuse to be near you. They linger after a conversation has already ended, choose the seat beside you when other places are available, or come up with small reasons to start another conversation. To everyone else, it looks casual. To them, every extra moment with you feels meaningful. Psychologically, people are naturally drawn toward those who make them feel emotionally safe, excited, or understood. Being close to someone they care about activates positive emotions, so they often seek that feeling again without even realizing it. It's less about planning every interaction and more about following what feels comforting. Of course, staying close doesn't always mean romance, but when someone consistently creates opportunities to be around you, even when there's no obvious reason, their actions may be expressing what their heart hasn't found the courage to say. Sometimes, the desire to simply share your space speaks louder than the most carefully chosen words. Sign 6. Your mood quietly affects theirs. Have you ever noticed someone who seems happier when you smile, yet strangely quieter when something feels off with you? They may not always ask what's wrong, but you can sense that your emotions somehow become part of theirs. It's as if your happiness lifts them, and your sadness lingers in their heart. Psychology shows that when we form a deep emotional connection with someone, we naturally become more sensitive to their feelings. We begin to notice subtle changes in their voice, their expression, or their energy. Because we genuinely care. Their emotional state starts to influence our own without us even realizing it. This is why someone who is quietly falling for you often reacts to your emotions in ways they can't fully control. They celebrate your best moments, worry during your hardest ones, and hope to see you smile again. When your heart begins to matter to theirs, even your smallest mood can leave a lasting impression. Sign 7. They try to hide their feelings, but they keep showing up. Some people never say, "I like you." Instead, they let their actions speak in quiet, consistent ways. They check in to see how you're doing, remember important moments in your life, and somehow find time for you even when they're busy. They may hide their emotions, but they never seem to disappear. Psychologically, consistency is one of the strongest indicators of genuine emotional investment. While feelings can be hidden behind silence or fear, repeated actions are much harder to fake. Someone who truly cares doesn't just appear when it's convenient. They make your presence a priority because being close to you feels important. That's why this may be the most meaningful sign of all. Anyone can say beautiful words in the right moment, but not everyone can show up again and again without expecting anything in return. When someone keeps choosing to be there, even while trying to hide what they feel, their heart may already be telling a story their voice isn't ready to share. Sometimes, the deepest feelings are never spoken. They're quietly revealed through the little things someone does when you're near. So don't rush to believe one moment. Watch the patterns, because a sincere heart always leaves gentle clues. If someone came to mind while watching this, perhaps your intuition is trying to tell you something worth noticing. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share which sign touched you the most. You never know. Your story might inspire someone else who's searching for the same answers.